Outside cut kick reply from Prater. Prater looking to set up the shoot with the combination. We're in the over-underhook now, and it's Wisniewski. Well, they jockey for position along the cage. Prater now has Wisniewski along the fence. Quickly turn around, and they're just dancing with each other along the fence right now, Trey.
Yeah, and neither one is really trying to take any advantage. As you can see, there's no position change, there's no aggressiveness. But one of these guys got to step in. I know it's early in the first round, it's only the first minute, but you still need to go ahead and try to dominate position and let your opponent know, hey, I'm the guy that's going to be in control of this fight.
Wisniewski, of course, very talented fighter, but again, on a personal 4-fight losing streak. What does that do to a fighter mentally, Trig, knowing that, you know, he has to get back on the winning track somehow? Does he just put that out of his mind with each and every new fight, or does it begin to weigh on you mentally when you've suffered 4-fight losing streak?
Well, I've seen fighters with 4 fights, and just every time they fight, they expect the next fight to be a loss. They go in there with that attitude, I'm going to lose anyway, so who cares? I've seen other fighters come in and go, look, I'm tired of this losing streak, it's time for me to start getting myself back on track, and they go nuts. They just absolutely go crazy in the fight, they go crazy in the training, they go crazy with the diet. I have to see which one Prater pulls. If the heat of competition, this fight gets close, it gets tight, you know, we might see Prater crack, we might see a new Prater who steps up and starts banging on stuff.
Prater has a tight body lock on Wisniewski along the fence, which should lead to a takedown attempt. Now releases, no, goes back to the body lock. But not a lot of action. It'll be interesting to see if the referee, Don Turnage, will separate the two combatants as this crowd on hand here at the American Airlines Center beginning to show their frustration with the lack of action along the fence between Wisniewski and Prater. Now Wisniewski comes back with an elbow, but immediately goes back and just tries to, well, pummel now with Prater. Not a lot of action going on here, and you wonder when Turnage is just going to separate these two athletes.
You know, they're really not even pummeling. They're just kind of, both guys are content to stay inside, and one guy's content to stay on the outside. But so a little change right now. Nice, nice.
There's that takedown by Prater into the open guard of Wisniewski. Half butterfly guard. Well, now back to an open guard, and Prater now, of course, originally from Brazil, now living in Houston, Texas. Practices that unique fighting style, which is a showcase really of all kinds of fighting styles, mixed boxing, Thai kickboxing, wrestling, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But now it's Wisniewski sitting up, maybe looking for the guillotine, but hard to submit him along the fence like that, won't it be, Trid?
Yeah, it's going to be very, because you can't really extend that much. There's no way to really get the body extended and make his body kind of lengthen out. As long as he's controlling the ball, it's very difficult to choke him. He's got it cinched in. He's got it locked, not cinched him, he's got his head kind of locked in there.
Yeah, Prater pops it out.
Puts it right back in again, though, for him.
And again, Prater pops out, posturing a bit now. North-south position. Wisniewski looking for the single leg, has it. We'll see what kind of balance Prater possesses. Wisniewski takes him to the cage, now looking for the double leg. No, still let the high crotch lift here back to the single. Really a stalemate here between Prater and Wisniewski as we are remaining 1 minute, 18 seconds in the first round. And back to the ground they go.
Wow, nice body triangle. See his legs wrapped across his back, almost in the figure 4 leg lock position, but around the body. Nice body triangle. He had a good head position, but because he was so busy trying to worry about his leg triangle, he lost the head. Once you get that submission, you got to maintain that submission.
Now the half butterfly guard, but again, it's Wisniewski stacking Prater up along the fence. Last minute of the opening round.
See, Wisniewski's in a good position here. Just start throwing elbows. He didn't need to try to break that guard or break the hands from him around his neck. Could have kept the hands there and just started throwing elbows on the top of his head.
Prater trying to keep Wisniewski close. Wisniewski trying to create that separation, trying to posture up. Not a lot of action to speak of, though, here in the opening round, Trig, and we'll hope for a little more in round number 2 with 20 seconds left now, and maybe Wisniewski looking to send a message to the judges in the final few seconds of this round as he again postures, needs to start striking, but you can see the wrist control by Prater on the bottom.
He's keeping him tight, he's keeping him close here, his legs are wrapped up, he's not going to be able to move, but he's also not going to be able to get hit either when he has that position.
Wisniewski ends the round with a series of shots, get back to his feet, but end of round number 1.
You know, as a judge, you know, which I'm not, I'm broadcasting a fighter, but as a judge, if I were a judge or referee, I'd have to give this first round to Wisniewski because just at the end of it, he pushed the pace and maintained it.
All right, the Art of War attracting all kinds of celebrities. There he is, NFL Hall of Fame wide receiver, Member of the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Irvin in attendance, a huge mixed martial arts fan, taking in Art of War 3. Saw him in Randy Couture's dressing room last week, had a great time there as well, and it's nice to see Michael Irvin on board. You know, a mutual friend of ours who also works with us in mixed martial arts, Jay Glazer, the #1 insider for the NFL. He's told me that in training camps this season, majority of the questions were about MMA and not football. As we take a look at some of the action of the opening round, not a lot to speak of, but let's take a look at the takedown, Trig.
A nice knee, and as he got pushed in, Prater just took a half step back and basically foot blocked. It's not really a foot sweep. He just took a foot block and rolled him to the ground. And that really was the best portion of the action. Now usually in between rounds, which I'll show you a lot of action, but because these two fighters are being so conservative, neither one of them is really stepping up at this point, and that was the only one real replay we could show you. Like I said before, these two guys have fought. This is their third time betting against each other. They know a lot about each other that
you know,
teammates get them.
Well, they say familiarity breeds contempt. It seems like familiarity here breeds conservative action.
Exactly.
We'll hope to see them begin to open things up here in the second round as Prater goes for a high head kick. Shoots the right hand through the guard of Wisniewski.
But just from looking physically, Prater seems to be the better specimen. Seems to be in shape more. Seems to have the better snap. He tends to be a little more aggressive. But doesn't necessarily mean that's the way he's going to be able to maintain the fight.
Prater with a nice outside cut kick, sending Wisniewski a message, just gauging the distance, maybe preparing for a shot. But now it's Wisniewski backing up Prater, has him along the fence. But again, just a lot of ghosting, and now Wisniewski comes in, has the over-under hooks, tight clinch here. Really, that clinch work, it remains as it was in the first round, a real stalemate. You'd like to see the intensity pick up here between Wisniewski and Prater. Another takedown.
Same one he hit earlier, so obviously that's his takedown. It's his go-to move.
So two successful takedowns so far in the fight for Carlo Neil Prater, but it's what he does with the takedown that will definitely affect the judges and the fans here. Now Wisniewski working on Prater's head. You control the head, you control the body. He has him in the half butterfly guard. Nice elbow from Prater.
Yeah, see, here's the thing for you new fighters, you people that are new to training fighters. A fighter gets in a position, he lands one, he should land two after it. So you should be able to hit him 3 times. If you land one elbow, you should be throwing 3 more punches, or 2 more punches after it, 2 more something after it. He's content, right now Prater's content just to throw the one and bury himself back in there again.
You know, you and I, of course, worked a long time together in Japan, and in Pride Fighting Championships, there was that card system. Yellow card for passivity, the yellow card for lack of action. And, you know, it's fights like this that I sometimes think maybe a card system in the United States wouldn't be so bad either, because we're really seeing a conservative matchup here between Wisniewski and Prater. And again, no disrespect to the fighters. They are highly trained athletes, but the fans do pay their money, their hard-earned money, Trig, to see a fight, to see an entertaining tilt. And this is nothing more than a conservative. Like right there, there's nothing happening. It looks like he's tapping, actually. I just saw him tap. No, look at that. Wow, it seemed like that was very strange. I thought Prater tapped there momentarily, and referee Don Turnage giving them very liberal time to engage in action. Is now blood beginning to trickle out of Wisniewski's nose.
And off his knee, it looks like, too. His knee or shin, he's got a little...
Momentary flurry, back to the clinch. Nothing but a Greco-Roman wrestling match here in round 2. 1 minute 50 seconds now remaining in the round. And again, you want to give them time to work, Trig, but really, shouldn't the referee just split them up and warn them here?
Well, this is the thing. In the card system you talked about earlier, in Japan, it was every time you saw a yellow card, you got 10% of your first taken away. I don't agree with that, but I think every time you see a yellow card or whatever card they decide to go with, there should be a point taken off of you in the round. So now it becomes, instead of being a 10-9 round, now it's just a 10-8 round.
I remember a fight in Bushido, Hayato Sakurai, one of the world's greatest fighters, taking on really nothing more than a, for lack of a better word, a tomato can from the United States, a member of Quinton Jackson's team at the time. And there's a nice trip takedown by Prater, and it's the third successful takedown for Prater, but what happened there? Sakurai seemed to be coasting. He gets one yellow card, not even a minute later, the fight's over.
Done.
And sometimes those fighters need, you know, when you, like you say, you take 10% away from the purse, that's incentive enough, one would think.
You know, but I think I hear the way the Americans are. You shouldn't touch our purses. We don't get paid that much as fighters anyway to begin with. So really, to take a point away, which is now going to cause you to lose the round drastically. As soon as you win the next two, it's still a tie. You have to be careful. You have to really be careful.
It looks like from the bottom now, Wisniewski looking to shift his hips, maybe go. Well, now Prater puts his right arm, crossface, and an elbow. Again from the half butterfly, but Wisniewski not even attempting the sweep. Prater doing a good job of controlling from the top, and really that's what this fight has been about. Prater's takedowns and then control. And look at that, Wisniewski just sits there, looking to his corner.
He really needs to move, really needs to try to get up, really needs to try to do something.
Now, you can't expect every fight, of course, to be, you know, a knockdown, throwdown, slugging matchup, but we've seen action before where the ground game was just as thrilling in the end of 2 rounds, and the fans let it be known that they are not impressed. And another NFL Hall of Famer, Tony Dorsett, is in the house here at the American Airlines Center. Tremendous running back in the day. So definite NFL Hall of Fame flavor on hand in Dallas, where they love their Cowboys.
Yes, they do. They do a great job out here, the Dallas football team. And, of course, my wife's favorite football team.
And, of course, some of them do love the Houston Oilers, or the old Oilers, and now Texans.
Yep, yeah. You know, my wife is from Chicago, so I have to hear about the Cubs, and I have to hear about the Cowboys.
And I get to take a look at, well, some of the best action of this fight so far. The walk by one of the Art of War cuties, and there is a bevy of ladies on hand here in Dallas.
Yes, MMA on the end there, some Hooters girls, some Fight Club girls.
I showed them my Canadian passport. Didn't really work.
Nobody really wants to go to Canada.
Oh, excuse me.
Not even Canadians.
Oh, excuse me. Hey. All right, third and final round. The two-touch gloves. Let's hope they touch each other's faces and bodies with those gloves.
I was kind of wondering where you're going with that.
Well, again, styles do make fights. We know that, and obviously these two have seen each other on 2 different occasions. But it is the third and final round. Time to let it all hang out, as they say, and try to, you know, not take it to the judges. Because if I'm a judge right now, I'm like, I guess the takedowns for Prater is giving him the edge in the fight. But yeah, we're not seeing much more than that.
I have a 2 rounds to none right now for Prater, which would be 20 to 18. So nothing really has actually happened. And it's you know, it's just, it looks like, you know, Wisniewski now is actually finally trying to do something. He realizes he's got to pick up the pace. And remember, he could make a draw on this by making a 10-8 round, you know, on this fight, in this round. So it could be, he could possibly win this, still pull this fight off without knocking him out or submitting him. But you got to move. You got to do a lot of work. In a 3-round fight, it's not worth trying to spend that much energy.
Well, that would take utter domination,
yeah.
And the first 2 rounds are any indication. This flight is not taking off. It's going to be stopped, you know, on the runway.
That's unfortunate at the American Airlines Center. I think it's
nice. Nicely done. Good segue there, big guy.
Pitch him, I knock him out of it.
And let's see if Wisniewski and Prater are going to try to knock each other out of the park, but back to the clinch we go. Still to come tonight, of course, the main event, the IFA Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Pedro the Rock Hizzo will defend the title for the first time against the Snowman Jeff Monson. We're going to see Jeremy Gumby Horn's 100th professional fight, a landmark event here tonight at Art of War 3. He's literally fought anyone who's anyone. Big super heavyweight matchup coming up as well. Mario Rinaldi, Bodog fight. Ron H2O Waterman, seen action in the UFC and Pride. They will go at it. And right now we're in the third and final round of what has really been a listless fight between Carlo Prater and Keith Wisniewski.
Good attempt at a push away, but got re-smothered in there. He's in a good single leg position. Well, head outside single. Needs to switch across.
Prater now looking for the double perhaps as well. Good job by Wisniewski, though, to block, putting his right leg across his left to stop the pickup by Prater. And now moving to their feet, Wisniewski with the body lock. Prater turning into him, however, and they're back up against the fence.
It's almost the point now for Wisniewski, because we're coming up on a 2-minute mark, last of this round, that he's going to have to just back on and turn for the fences to try to pull us off. Or Wisniewski, just because he's so far behind now. The thing he has left, he's never been close to submission. The thing he has left is a possible knockout.
Well, Prater and Wisniewski turning Dallas into Dulles tonight, Trig. And the fans letting them hear it.
Both one of these guys that start making that push forward.
There's another takedown by Prater. That's 4 in a row.
In my opinion, that seals the deal. There's really no way now that Wisniewski will catch the Prater. Without dramatic submission or knockout.
And remember that UFC battle between Gabriel Gonzaga and Kevin Jordan, one of the worst fights ever, and it ended in a knockout, which, saved the day for Gonzaga. But we're nearing the final minute of this middleweight, or make that welterweight contest between Keith Wisniewski and Carlo Prater. They have met 2 different times. Wisniewski's recorded the victory both occasions. I don't know if the fans will want to see a 4th matchup after this one.
I'm going to have to say no. And that, of course, stylistically, fighting a guy 3 times is difficult.
Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward, this ain't.
No, they bought it every single time.
Seconds left, and it definitely looks like this one will be going to the judges. And it looks like Prater's personal losing streak against Wisniewski is going to end, but it wasn't a memorable fight. Between Brazil and the United States, and the fans letting the 2 athletes know about it. So again, they first met December 2004. That went to a decision. They met in September 2005. That went to a decision. And they are meeting once again here at Art of War 3. And for the 3rd time, it goes to a decision. But I think the result will be a little different this time around. We are just awaiting the judges' final tally. We had Guy Metzger, the Lion's Den, in Prater's corner. Wisniewski from Juneland Valley Judo. Again, for more information on the Art of War, you can go to artofwarlive.com. All kinds of news and information about upcoming events. And information about your favorite Art of War fighters. Even have Melvin Guillard in the corner there for Carlo Prater, the UFC fighter. Rumors have it that he'll be making his way back to the octagon December 29th. Following his problems, there's Michael Irvin again. He is also anxiously awaiting the decision. Texas hero, one of the greatest wide receivers to ever play the game. Now, there weren't any touchdowns scored in this fight, like one of those NFL games that ends 6-3. All right, well, looks like the delay is about as long as this fight appeared to be for a lot of the athletes, and hopefully we will get an official decision here soon. I don't know what the holdup could be. I mean, Prater did score 4 takedowns, and really that was the gist of what was the offensive action in this fight. Tony Romo is also wondering what's taken so long. And, of course, that blonde to the right of him, American Idol winner and huge country star, Carrie Underwood. Was that a Carrie Underwood lookalike? I can't even tell. I heard that she was going to be attending with Tony Romo. All right, Tom Looney is standing by with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a decision, and it's a split decision. Judge Ray Hawkins scores it 29-28 Prater. Judge Steve Armstrong has the fight 29-28 Wisniewski. Judge Arturo Velasquez scores the fight 29-28 for the winner by split decision from Houston, Texas, Carlo.
Well, I don't know how one of the judges could have seen it in favor of Keith Wisniewski. A bit of a gift there, but Carlo Prater does record the win in the third meeting between these two athletes, and Prater scores his first victory in this trilogy via a rather lackluster split decision, and now Frank Trigg is standing by with Prater.
Not one of your better fights, Alvin. A little slow, a little lackluster, but because third time you fought him, finally got the win. You're 0-2 against him. Honestly, what do you think that you did was one of the best things you did tonight in this fight?
I really fought off his takedowns. I knew that's his strong point. He's a great fighter. We fought 3 times, man. This is the third time. You don't understand how frustrating it is to lose to somebody twice by decision, and everybody's doubting you. You want to fight him again? You want to fight him again? I say, man, I got to. Before I die, I got to fight him one more time, see if I'm capable of beating him. And I was capable tonight. You know, I was able to, it's not my strong point or takedowns, but I was able to do hard work in training camp, getting my back off the fence. I think I did a pretty good job tonight of matching upper body strength with him in the clinch. And I was able to turn him. Not all the time, but most of the time. I was able to put him on his back more than he was able to put me. I think that's what gave me the win, Frank.
Ladies and gentlemen, your champion, Prater.
All right, Carlo Neil Prater records the win, and coming up here on Art of War 3, live on pay-per-view, it is going to be a light heavyweight matchup.